Welcome
Who's
back.
gonna rock the place in the Sonic Night Palace?
Welcome back to
Song.
Sonic and the Secret Rings, and now we're watching the intro movie again. And no, this is not me. This is actually how the game is. When you get to this point in the game, you see this intro again.
You know, during the days up to Smash Bros. Brawl and everybody wanted Sonic in this game, someone like edited this scene where Sonic is turning with the Smash Bros. Characters looking in awe. Like,
It cool. is good to have him in the Smash games.
Well, I guess the Erazor
so can you explain what's going on?
Erazor Djinn is basically wreaking havoc and carving up even more pages, and has taken the Night Palace captive. Why? I have no idea. I don't even think it's really the Emperor's palace. So, I mean the Sultan's palace.
Because he's evil. Oh no! What?
Oh no, the Dark Cosmos energy!
Stop motion? I thought we were done watching heavy metal.
Arabian Letters... okay.
The story is being sucked into a void!
Is this gonna be like in... is this gonna be like in the Winnie the Pooh movies where Sonic is gonna go from page to page and he has to walk on top of the letters?
By the way, slightly off topic, but since Deji mentioned it, did South Park parody heavy metal at all?
No. I mean, that movie's obscure, Shiroi. I mean, it's not exactly something that...
I mean, it's not something that's out of the realm. I mean, I'm sure South Park has parodied obscure stuff before.
They have,
I mean,
but I've seen all the episodes and I don't remember an heavy metal parody from them, honestly.
Yeah, heavy metal is recognized a lot more nowadays thanks to Nostalgia Critic and Diam.
Don't touch the flame, Sonic, he'll get burned.
But he uses a fire shield to avoid fire. He'll be...
You know, Johnny actually made a good point about his review. Sonic is on a time limit, so why is Erazor Djinn sending his minions after him?
Because...
I guess motivation.
What motivation? Besides dying?
Yeah,
well, actually, now that I think about it, I think the Djinns just happened to be there. I don't recall Erazor Djinn actually specifically sending them after Sonic.
Really?
But so
wait, I think this is the Pinky Swear scene. Yeah.
The promise between me and you.
But
Shiroi, we're going to make it through this. Pinky Swear.
Aww. Oh, goody. He made a pinky promise. You know what that means, Shiroi?
I mean, they could have gone with the... I'm fine with the promise thing. I just don't think that it was a good decision to have the pinky swear thing, because that's a bit corny, honestly.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic is corny.
No, it's just that the whole pinky swear thing, that just... I mean, it could have been a really nice, heartfelt scene if it wasn't for the pinky swear thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I find it charming enough.
Like, you could have just said, promise me.
Okay, I think it would have been more effective if they'd been a bit more subtle about it, honestly.
You know, I'm fine with the pinky promise. It's a later scene that,
You mean the ending?
Yes.
Well, true, I agree. Anyway...
Okay.
So now we're in Night Palace. The gimmick with this stage is that... basically, throughout the entire stage, there's going to be various different environments. Like, right now we're in the palace itself, but later on there's going to be some, I guess, interdimensional travel, because we go into this place where there's transparent...
Can I just stop you for one moment? Can we just appreciate this music playing right now?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Anyway, funnily enough...
Oh, this is not a fan, apparently.
Well...
I actually haven't checked out this soundtrack.
It's fine. It's fine for the most part. I just think the lyrics can get a bit repetitive.
I've heard better.
I really like the soundtrack, but I'll admit actually, yeah, I like it.
I mean, when I'm going back to the music from the Storybook series, well, if you can call it a series, it's like 2 games. I usually just go straight to the vocal tracks from Black Knight.
It's fine.
Storybook duology.
Yeah, it's fine, but I think Kenichi Tokoro's best Sonic soundtrack is the Colors one.
You know what? A lot of people give Lost World crap. I actually like that game soundtrack.
Yeah,
the soundtrack is fine. I just don't think it's nowhere near as good as Sonic soundtracks tend to be.
Well, one thing.
Which soundtrack is
Lost World. Lost World.
I love the final boss theme.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah.
There is.
I love the final boss scene. I like the
a few
deadly
people-
six
I
boss
noticed
themes
that,
as a king.
One at a time.
Hold on. Let
Let's
Deji speak. Go ahead.
Actually, glitches for one speaking. Go on, dude.
I noticed that people treat the main theme of Lost World as though it's the devil.
Really?
Really?
Seriously, there's a few people. There's a few people at SMB who actively hate Sonic Lost World's opening theme.
I've never heard anyone say that.
It was all the rage back then when it first came out. Granted, when it first came out, people were kind of split on it. Granted, thankfully, people...
I think people just miss a vocal track.
I apologize, ladies and
That was the
gentlemen.
main thing.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, we've entered into a completely different level.
Yeah, I remember a few LPs of this.
Are we in Star Trek now?
Now, here's your
Alright.
hint, audience. Whatever path the rings are on, make sure that you're in line with them so that you don't end up getting hit by the
Yeah,
arrow.
you need to be right in line with them. It
Sonic
seems.
through the looking glass.
Haha.
How was that movie
That's,
anyway?
that's
heard
going to
it's
be
terrible.
the eventual third installment in this series.
I thought the third installment was going to be Greek mythology.
I heard West.
Yeah. Apparently, there was
But yeah,
some kind of
apparently-
thing about Greek mythology, a rumor, but it got cancelled because of Black Knight's reception.
I don't know if it even got canceled, honestly. Oh,
I think it's like Sega wanted to change directions. I wanted to make the franchise.
Well,
better.
yeah. Izuka taking over Sonic Team was probably also a part of it. Yeah.
you know, that's another thing. A lot of people give Izuka crap, but honestly, he helped Sonic get back on track, if you ask me. I mean,
Gameplay-wise, I agree with you. In terms of the writing, I think his hiring of Pontek and Graf was fine for callers. While it was
that
fine for
wasn't-
callers, it wasn't the best decision he made.
there. That actually wasn't much his decision. He was mainly in charge of, handling the games, what games were made and whatnot. When it came to hiring the writers, that were the higher ups at Sega.
Ah, okay then. In that case,
Yeah.
He
I mean,
later did get more creative say in it, but well, there are some things outside of his control. Sonic.
my thing is what the Sonic series needs is they need to bring back Shigeru Maekawa, but instead of having him write alone like he has for these games and the adventure games, give him a team, because I think Shigeru Maekawa can do really good stuff, but he needs a team to bounce ideas off of, because the big problem with Shigeru Maekawa's writing was the lack of detail in some parts. And
I thought you were going to say remove the list
this
like
game-
everybody else.
Hey Pedro, what if they bring back Shun Nakamura?
Oh god, no, please. The writer of Sonic 06. The writer of Sonic 06. No, thank you.
How about I forget? Didn't he do something good before Sonic 06?
And after, actually, he made Rhythm Thief.
Ow. I forget. Who are the writers for Sonic 3 writers?
Some morons who hopefully will never write for the series ever again.
Me.
You know what's
I
funny?
wrote the plot.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Because a lot of people. You know what's funny? For as much as some people hate Pontap and get.
Pontac. His name was Pontac, and the other guy's name was Warren Graff.
Yep.
Yeah. For as many people hate Pontap as they were collectively called, no one has ever compared them to the writing of Sonic 3 writers. Not even the purists.
Well, the thing is, Joe, a lot of people.
Stupid.
Yeah, the main reason is because a lot of people didn't actually even play the game, because that game is literally unplayable. Literally.
And speaking of free, oh, go ahead, Sheila.
And I was just gonna ask, who wrote Black Knight?
Shigeru Maekawa, aka the writer of the adventure games.
Because that was
I
pretty
will say
good.
one thing about
Yeah, it was. Though Dwibs disagrees.
It's the best Sonic's ever been in his own game for a long time.
Oh no! If there's one thing I'll give Shigeru Maekawa is this: he knows how to. He knows his Sonic characterization.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you can even see that in the Secret Ring stuff. I mean, yes, of course, the story's disjointed, but for the parts where the story does show up, I find it enjoyable.
Really just look for them yourself.
All right, everybody, are we all hyped for the final fight against Erazor Djinn?
Yes.
I was when I first played it.
I never got this far. I gave up.
Let's see you try.
I've never played this game.
I'll give Night Palace credit, though. Surprisingly, this Night Palace as a level seems to actually be a level that's well designed around the whole motion control thing. Yeah,
Deji,
how about
you're
that?
saving yourself a lot of frustration.
Well, again, it depends on if you can
have a hype on Sonic.
What was that, Ditch?
That was Shira.
Oh. What was that?
Alright, let's go through parts. Jova, finish what you were saying.
How ironic is it that Night Palace, one of the final levels, is actually one of the ones that centers the game a bit better around the motion controls, giving you more room to mess up here and there.
You filthy rat! I'll shut that mouth.
Do you think it was one of the whole? I was gonna say, Shira, you might think that I saved myself from frustration by playing Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic Boom.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Okay, I'll give Shadow the Hedgehog credit, honestly.
Oh my
yes. Shadow the Hedgehog has those infamous missions here and there, but you can play the game the way you want.
Well, the problem, Joe. Well, Joe.
The game 9 times.
Well, Joe, but the problem is, while it is
stupid, I agree.
While it is true, Joe.
That's what I say for the most part.
Well, Joe, but I would agree, to quote some Call Me Johnny's review, I would agree with you, Joe, but there's a problem. I mean, if you're going to only play the way you want to, you'll never be able to see the entirety of the game. So.
Oh yeah,
hey, you're ripping yourself off.
Oh, I get that. That's why I said for the most part. I'm not gonna deny there's the obvious elephant in the room stuff where, yeah, you cannot play the game completely the way you want to. I mean...
And you have to play the game a certain amount.
Anyway, maybe I should explain the boss fight. Basically what you have to do is you have to constantly dodge his thing. And
why are you jumping right into his blade there? Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shira, you and I seem to have similar childhoods.
Alright, so
yeah,
basically... Alright, so because I just can't dodge this guy for shit, I've decided to abuse the shit out of Time Break to avoid this,
it's cool.
Get good, scrub.
Get good.
Well, look at it this way, Deji. At least you'll be able to see how the boss works very clearly thanks to the slow motion.
Wow.
Good, scrub.
Anyway, what I was saying was,
it's
because during this particular section of the fight, in order for Erazor to have an opening where you can homing attack him, you have to dodge like 3 attacks in a row. I think it's 3.
Not really, actually. When he does stuff like that, the idea is to jump quickly and then homing attack him.
Yeah, did you see the reticle appear on his head? That was my cue. The problem is that I cannot for the life of me get this because you have to have a very precise timing. And I'm just not good with timing in this game.
I wouldn't say
I'd be terrible.
It's not so much precise timing, it's just a matter of dodging on the first few hits.
Actually, no, that's a lie. My timing is good. My
there we go.
It's not.
Yeah. To be honest, it's not so much precise timing, well, on the first few hits anyway. Now, there are some parts where there actually is use of precise timing, which you'll see later. But yeah, for the most part, it's just a matter of dodge, jump, and if you can hit them, thrust forward.
I'd love it if the dialogue slowed down as well. You'd be like, aha, it's working. No, I just have to keep on.
Yeah, why do they speak in real time?
I guess the sound director probably thought it would be a bit awkward and jumbly, so he thought, let's just have them talk normally even when the thing is done. Alright, in this particular one...
here's the part where you need a bit of precise timing.
Yeah, basically you have to jump and homing attack him right as he's about to come towards you. And like Jova just said, the timing in this is very tight. You really have to... which is why I'm using Time Break, so I can give myself some leeway.
Yeah, speaking as someone who's actually good at this game, even I'll admit that I won't frown upon you for using slow down for during that part. Because, yeah.
It's just one of those things where...
though, it's mainly just a matter of dodging his blade strikes, which I've had little to no issue with. Although I will admit, probably a bit of a thing. I know it's too late to tell you, but for future reference, when you're going in slowdown stuff, you may not always be able to catch up with stuff either.
I mean, I apologize if people start hearing fireworks in the...
It's fine.
Anyway,
every time it goes into black and white, I keep thinking to myself, maybe I should put in like one of them sad piano themes in there, like.
Anyway, yeah, it's really one of those things where in order to beat this boss, you have to really get good with the controls. There's no way around. There's no way around it. You really have to be. You have to master the controls pretty much, and for most people, it tends to be really hard because the motion controls aren't exactly the best.
Yeah, I'll agree. A lot of people do get good at this game, but I will agree that it is definitely hard for most. Heck, it was hard for me, too. Forget, 2008. This was like on the Wii's second year in production.
First time, I think. Well, the Wii came out in November 2006, so technically we were still in the first year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. This came out in 2007, I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was originally going to be a Wii version of Sonic 06, but the director Yoshihiro Ogawa thought, no, there's no way because the Wii is way too weak. Let's just make a game made for the Wii.
You know what's ironic? It might have been a better working version of Sonic 06, just tampered with motion controls.
Oh god, Sonic 06 with motion controls.
I mean, it wouldn't have been
Hey,
but it would have motion controls.
to be fair, the silver sections would have actually been playable.
I think you may be right. I guess. It depends on how they would actually tailor it, though.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Sonic 06, can I mention an opinion that I have of that game that I'm not quite sure whether it's popular or not.
Go ahead.
Worse than it's not as bad as Sonic Genesis. That one.
Well,
Just let him
okay,
speak. Come on.
but my second one.
Okay, go on.
I really don't. Okay, FMV cutscenes aside, I really don't think it's that good looking.
No, I actually agree with you there.
Only 360 game. So.
I actually really agree with you there. That game looks, aside from the FMV, it looks really bad for the hardware it's in.
I'll give it credit though, it does seem to be a game that might have looked good back then, and I mean really, really way back then, because I'll admit, I was kind of excited to play it. And
the only
this was back when I was a kid, so I barely had any idea about the train wreck Sonic 06 was.
The only 360 game that I've seen that I think looks worse than 06 is Bomberman X-Zero.
Honestly,
there
Jova,
are quite a few games that look worse than Sonic 06, but I will agree Sonic 06 is definitely ugly outside the CGI cutscenes. And heck, not even all the CGI cutscenes are good looking. There are actually quite a few that...
Yeah, some of them. It's because of the rush nature of the game. They were not able to finish the CGI cutscenes in time, so for some of them they actually had to put in the game models, and it looks... yeah.
You know, honestly, I also bring up this. I feel that if the humans were at least as good looking as they looked in the CGI cutscenes, I don't think people would have minded.
But it looks horrible in the CGI and in-game cutscenes.
I'm talking about the intro cutscene. It's like, well, I mean, to be honest, the humans, you know, despite their realistic
Maybe
values,
they should have made Eggman realistic.
I'll just say this.
Was weird, but I honestly think that if the humans at least, you know, looked better blended with the Sonic universe like they did in the intro cutscene, I don't think people would have complained nearly as much.
Better blended if they did them like they were in the adventure game.
I'll just say this.
Yeah, I agree. I miss how the adventure games did humans, honestly.
I actually, honestly, if you ask me, the game that did humans in Sonic the best was Unleashed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
I'll respectively disagree. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get why everyone likes them. They're definitely a good blend. I just missed how Sonic Adventure had that nice sense of compromise.
Although, to be fair, some of the humans in Adventure looked ugly.
Well, I'll just that was from the Dreamcast.
I'll just say this. Sonic, this game is on much weaker hardware, and yet it looks much more appealing than Sonic 06.
Let that sink in.
Yep.
I'm okay.
Well, Sonic Colors looks better than those.
As a gameplay
Well, Sonic
experience,
Colors admittedly was kind of more near the Wii Swan Song era, so it makes sense that game looks so beautiful.
As a gameplay experience, I'd rather play 06 than this.
I'm the opposite.
Hey guys, we don't have all the world rings, which means... Oh, actually, wait, do I? I think I show off the bad ending, don't I? Yeah, I do, okay. So yeah, everybody, welcome to the bad ending of Sonic and the Secret Rings. They
All
reach
right.
the door, they can't open it, so... Okay, let's go then. I guess we're done.
Worlds shall open.
Okay, so final thoughts. Sure, go.
Through the door that they open.
This is a game with terrible controls.
No. Let me just say this. I love the fact that apparently... Okay, so I guess now technically in canon, Sonic and Sharla are gonna go back to the world so they can get the remaining world rings.
Oh,
but
looks like I did pick the right song.
But I really love the idea that the Erazor Djinn is now locked in on that room and he's just waiting there endlessly until Sonic recovers the world rings.
Yeah.
Yep, well, like you said, like with Final Fantasy, the big bad will sit and wait patiently until you're ready to go to him.
There you go, Yoshihiro Ogawa was also the game designer aside from... Oh, and that's Morio Kishimoto, who went on to be the director of Sonic Colors, and I think Lost World as well. Here's a little bit of trivia. Yoshihiro Ogawa's original plan, because he was actually the original director of Sonic 06, believe it or not, and his original idea for Sonic 06 was a game where you could mess around with the physics of the world.
Oh yeah, I recall that.
Yeah.
Well, you can certainly do that in the final game.
But eventually, because
True, as a nightmare.
But eventually, when he split the team in two to make this game, Shun Nakamura was the one who took over, and yeah, we all know how that turned out.
Hey, don't worry, guys. It looks like Sonic is going into a good direction. With
Yeah.
Well, Mania looks
Good job on SA1.
Honestly, JT, he's been heading in that better direction ever since Unleashed. Although colors more specifically.
Remember,
like I said,
remember, Deji, Rise of Lyric doesn't count.
No, yes, it does. I'm sorry.
Rise of Lyric is a spin-off game.
No,
and honestly,
no. I don't care. Even if it is a spin-off, the fact that they overhyped it and it was the attempt to get more people into the Sonic franchise, the people that have left and newcomers. Yeah, I don't. Even if it's a spin-off, it's still bad.
Okay, one day, were you expecting them to not overhype it regardless? I mean, that's kind of a business tactic. And two,
Not really, because it could have just been, hey, look, this is our side thing. No, the whole point of it was to get new people into the series, and it failed at that.
Well, it did get new people into the series,
And
believe it or not.
Yeah,
Not
for
as
the
many
show.
as they planned.
Yeah.
No. The show was what got the most people into the series.
Poor kids.
For kids, I remember. When
Oh
we
yeah,
were
the
growing
party
up.
games, this incredibly shitty multiplayer game that nobody ever plays in this game.
Oh, I actually had the pleasure of playing.
Also, Jova, we got Sonic 4, so I think that was a bit awkward stepping
Listen,
stone.
Mania looks awesome.
Look, Sonic 4 Episode 1 came out the same year as Sonic Colors, and honestly, no matter what anyone says, and I will admit it should have been what Episode 1 was, Episode 2 did show that they were at least listening to people on it.
But it got, the damage was already too late.
Let's be honest, Deji, that was kind of a bout of critics being hypocrites. Like, seriously, critics praise Sonic 4
fans
Episode
as
1.
well.
Did Deji, remember, critics praise Sonic 4 Episode 1 for being a nice original
Listen,
throwback to the series,
there's
and then
one
it was
thing I
Episode 2 that they considered the ripoff, despite the fact that Episode 2 went out of its way not to be a ripoff and literally had a boss animation
It's a shame.
that taunts you into thinking it's going to be a boss ripoff, but isn't. So yeah, that... Look, if you needed any more sign to show that critics are trying to be the road to ruin for Sonic, well, that is until even they got self-aware themselves to the point of it.
It's a shame because if Sega decided to order the creation of a Sonic 4 3 years after the fact, instead of, in 2014 instead of 2010, they would have had Taxman and Stealth make it, and it would have been amazing. Sadly.
Well, what about
Well, we're getting that now,
Lost
thank
World?
goodness.
Jova?
I'm not. No,
I don't think they were as. I don't think Taxman and Stealth at the time were as well known then as they are now.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
true, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Sonic 4 came in 3 years or too early.
And Deji, if you're asking me about Lost World, no, because I'm not one of the people considered.
I'm just talking about the franchise, since Sega themselves seems to be sweeping that game under the rug.
Well,
Not really,
one
since
thing
that game's
I know,
on
and I
Steam.
think we can
No,
all pretty much agree with.
Wow.
No matter
Jova.
how well Sonic ends up doing, critics will always find a way to be assholes about something stupid.
Same thing with the fans.
If they want any, if they claim to be as consistent as they are, they should hate Sonic Mania purely because Sonic's friends are in it.
No, but that's the thing. No, but that should see it. Tails and Knuckles were in the classics, therefore they don't. Therefore they get a pass.
But Pedro, IGN apparently said at one point that the introduction of Tails was where the series started going downhill.
Well, also, you know what's funny?
Well, that's IGN, so...
Yeah, I mean, IGN are the same people who actually mistook Green Hill Zone for the first stage in Sonic 2, when they tried to claim that Mania was just a bunch of remakes or rip-off levels.
Well, to be
that was...
fair.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say, IGN just prioritizes Sonic. Let's be real, there are different people there. Yes, those people who are saying it are the ones that represent the company, but at the same time, it's like...
Well, Deji, if they're different people, then, well, the whole Sonic was never good.
Well, remember, you've got to remember, IGN isn't made up of a handful of people.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact... Not to mention the fact that, regardless of who's doing it, they should try and represent our company better. Like, seriously.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying.
But there is the whole thing of personal opinions, even if their opinions are batshit stupid.
Oh, I get that, but let me put this into perspective, guys. The whole Sonic was never good video thing, that was so infamous that it got pretty much everyone to actually start realizing that, hey, critics like IGN really are a bit too...
It was just clickbait, let's be real.
Yeah, but it was clickbait that finally actually got the message out.
Wait a minute. It wasn't actually clickbait because the title didn't suggest.
Yeah, true.
The idea of clickbait is that you're lured in by the title of something.
Yeah, sure, it's got a point there.
Let's be real here. No matter what, all you do is go that.
If you're trying to defend...
Hold on. Hold on, guys, I have to read this.
Hold on, guys.
When the 7 rings that control the worlds are gathered, the portal between worlds shall open.
Ooh, goody.
In other words, go get all the chaos. I mean, all the world rings.
The world rings. Anyway, we'll see you for the next part of Secret Rings.
See you, everybody.
See ya.